but I could see easily being at 6 to 7 million.
Yeah.
A little better.
Yeah, but did you notice, if you ran the numbers off of what he was saying, that the building construction square footage was, that they don't match what the other numbers are, so there's a lot of.
Thank you. Welcome to the August 6th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. If everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Sorry we're late. We just finished up a workshop. We have no public hearings this evening. Any announcements? John, anything?
No.
David?
I do not.
Matt? We do have, you are now able to request an absentee ballot so that you can submit. You won't get the ballot yet because none of them exist, but you can at least make a request now. Additions and deletions to the agenda. We have our appointment will be moved to the next meeting. Shirley Bartlett is, who's our assessor, is currently working on the TIF values, right? So we'll bring her in next meeting. Public comment on anything? Correspondence, we do have the financial reports. Approval letter from the state floodplain management ordinance, Waterboro Water District meeting minutes, and the contract deputy reports. Reports and staff initiatives, selectmen's reports. David.
I was not here for the Waterboro Old Homes Day event, but I've heard nothing but positive feedback from a lot of folks here in town, so kudos to that committee.
Gary sent me a note to read. John, anything? No? Okay. This is from Gary Fecto, who's not with us tonight. I'd like to extend my sincere appreciation to the members of the Old Home Days Committee. Their hard work planning this event led to a great weekend. First ever car show had over 30 registered vehicles and others that just showed up. Proceeds from that entry fees, over $700, were donated to the Waterboro Food Pantry. The amount of participating vendors doubled from last year, and the fireworks were wonderful as always. The committee has only 7 members and works very hard year-round to plan this. They are the epitome of what volunteering is. So if anybody is interested in participating in next year's, which will, the planning will already commence, please fill out an application and volunteer to be on the committee. Dwayne, anything?
No.
Okay. Town administrator's report.
Just a few things. To give you a couple of program updates on the ARPA. Waiting for one final proposal for the LED signs. We've got 2 completed already. We have 1 more to get. Friendship Park improvements will begin within the next couple weeks, actually probably right after the Blues Fest. The only bug we'll have that is that the court will not be completed until the spring because the pavement's going to need to cure throughout the winter before they paint it and take care of the top. But irrigation and well are in the works. I know later in the agenda we'll talk about that, and I'll ask you about the well. There's an issue there. Again, I want to send my sincere appreciation to the Old Home Days Committee, and there should be thank you letters in the packet tonight. Correct, Laura?
Yes, there are.
Yeah, that we'll be sending out.
Well, they're in the folder. Yeah.
Town Hall will be closing at 2:45 on August 29th. Staff will be attending a training here from 3 to 5:30 that day. Next door, your CIP projects for the flooring and painting. Those projects for that whole side of the building should be done by this week. The Sanford flooring is wrapping up, and the offices upstairs have been completed as well. Some important information for November. We talked about, obviously, the 6th will be the last deadline for any warrant articles. The bond or any, and there's a potential for petition. Some people have expressed another one for cannabis again. And obviously any revisions to the charter or changes. Monday, today, is obviously the day you can request absentee ballots. Monday, October 7th, absentee ballots should be available to be distributed. And Thursday, October 31st, the last day for someone to request the absentee ballot. And then Monday, the 4th, will be set up for election after the Y leaves the school, but then Tuesday we'll have elections. There's just been a lot of little things going on, but
Where are we gonna vote?
that will be at as far as I know, the Waterboro Elementary School.
The Waterboro Elementary School?
As far as I know,
Okay.
unless the school changes something, or
Okay.
I can confirm that.
So,
We'll
so
put that
same
word
place that we voted
out last time.
last time.
Yeah. Any other issues or questions?
I don't have anything. Under new business, we had discussed vote on a new tax commitment, but since Shirley is not ready, we'll forego that and move that to the next meeting. Old business, discuss vote to reallocation of the opera funds. We're struggling to put together this building out here that would be used for voting, so there's another proposal on the floor.
In essentially the same cost we just saw from the workshop, the public works project, we're gonna be seeing out back here for a building or anywhere. And with the project we have to allocate these funds by year end. And Dwayne asked me, stopped in, we updated the ARPA projects list we had previously provided you guys, which still includes the LED signs, the electrical, which was estimated at $75,000 altogether for both locations. It's a powered room. And then, obviously, Project 2, Friendship Park, the improvements with the pickleball, resurfacing the basketball, fencing, irrigation, loam. The well, we originally planned at $15,000, or budgeted, and we've been in contact with the water engineer,
Hydrologist.
Yeah, hydrologist, thank you. Looking to maximize the amount of water we're gonna get out of the well. And we're estimating that cost to be about $4,000 to $5,000, but we'll get the highest yield for the return from the water, so we'll know where we're at, because there's some houses down there that are almost 50 gallons per minute, and we might be able to be in that same fracture or better one. So we want to look to see if that's worth the time, but I don't know what your thoughts are.
That aquaflow crosses the old Elford Road
Right.
down there somewhere, so, and that's a underground lake.
Pretty
So,
much.
Yeah,
If you
I
can tap
mean,
into, how many pickleball courts are for that price?
That's gonna be 4 courts.
Okay.
And so, and just to get, we've explored the option for lighting. And we've had a lot of conversations, and I know this is very familiar to Glenn as well. He heard this before from me, but same with the ball fields, is there's lighting engineers that get involved because their standards, believe it or not, for pickleball. Because this is also right next to the basketball court, we have different issues, because the basketball court is sharing space or near the court, that we can't have lights that would, it's not gonna be lit at night. In short answer,
just can't play at night.
unless we wanna spend a lot of money to do it, because light can't blind people, because we can be liable if they get hurt from the ball. And we're not apparently encouraging people down at the park at night anyways. We do have some lights out back. From when we talked to the electricians, They said if we're gonna do anything to put some lights in the parking lot and improve those. But lighting the court for nighttime play is not advisable unless we wanna follow the guidelines, and that's expensive. So anyhow, and the meeting space, obviously, we've really pulled that off the list because of the costs. We're gonna easily reach $850 to $1 million
Yep.
without batting an eye,
Anyways,
at least, so. And so,
Yeah.
So the proposal would be to replace the fire department's forestry truck, right?
that would, the 2000, well, to keep the current truck we have, which is the 2013, keep that truck and build a new truck to add to it, forestry, wildland.
The truck that's down there, they're constantly maintaining. It's getting to a point where it's on borrowed time. My recommendation here is there is a new truck sitting, there are probably two of them sitting here in the state of Maine. Weir's has got the closest one, but a 2024 F-550 four-wheel drive cabin chassis, a new body, which is in the ballpark of 24,000, a skid unit, which is a 20-horse skid tank with water on it, front bumper, winch, all the light bars and radio and portable pumps and the chainsaw safety, the whole truck completely ready to go using this ACRA money would be in the ballpark of 154,000. And
So APRA, we could use this APRA money for this,
Use it for vehicles.
okay.
I'm saying 165,000 because the way every time we turn around, something's gone up, but if we want to make a motion to do this tonight, I would say 165, but one of two things to do with the remaining money, which is going to be about 40,000, is we've got two projects. One's the paving project down to Friendship Park that we keep putting off, but the other one is the Public Works garage. We can't put a new roof on that because we got to replace the homemade trusses on the top of the roof because it won't take the load, snow load in the
you're talking the current public works garage?
current Public Works garage. So
We raised money to
we've got
replace the
money,
roof.
we've got money put aside, we've got 50,000 put aside, and there's about 46,000 left in that account because there's been some engineering done, but take the other 40 and that would finish that project up. Take and order those trusses ASAP and order this truck, or go and get the truck ASAP.
So your calculation with the roof repair, does it include labor and everything?
So, I guess, when Dwayne asked about the roof, I said that if that's what direction we want to do, is I would allocate, correct me if I'm wrong, but allocating those for the repairs for the Public Works facility. And we're allocating those dollars.
Oh,
So
okay,
that we can just say that, because, I mean, obviously, if you're looking at it,
gotcha.
you're 41,000 and change.
You'd have just under 90,000 to put that roof on or do whatever's gotta be done while they're doing it, so, you know.
And we do have additional funds in the CIP building account that if we were short on that, that would come back to you and say, hey, we're at $110,000. Is that your wish?
These two projects should be done and paid for
Right.
if we get it started. I don't care if we do it, I mean, we can do it tonight, but you can put it on the agenda for 2 weeks from now. The only thing that scares me is that truck that's sitting in Arundel may be gone, because we haven't, it's sitting there and it matches what they need for a truck. So if that's sitting there and we gotta wait 3 months, the body, we may have to wait a few months or a month or two for a body, but everything else could be ordered and ready, and that can be done within house. Or sent out locally to, the radios and the lights and whatnot, but
We would do about 90% of the work internally, which would save any $75 to $100,000+.
Nice.
Outsourcing it, and that's what we did actually with the 2013.
Yeah.
And actually, that truck gets used a lot more for the storm-related calls versus bringing out the
big trucks.
$750,000 truck for the pumper.
Yeah.
If there's any windstorms, rainstorms, whatever, that goes out. Used for blocking the roadways and whatnot.
What scares me is we're gonna need this forestry truck with the storms that we've had, trying to get into the backwoods if lightning or whatever happens. We haven't got a small, we can't put that ladder truck and we can't put the big pumper out through the woods. So we need something this is gonna be something that's gonna be used throughout the whole town.
One thing that has concerned me for many years, and if we go back over time, 20 years ago, actually, Waterboro had four forestry trucks, and we had 4 tankers. And, one of our challenges, and the same thing we're talking about with Public Works, is our infrastructure. We just don't have a place for it. But we have a large area that's not paved roads, that's off-road. And we've been very fortunate for many years not to have a lot of wildland calls. Obviously, we know we were target of the 47 fire, and that concerns me, because
Right.
we need to make sure we're prepared for the future. This certainly will help us, because it's a position we were in about 20 years ago, and 15 years ago we had 3 trucks, and then it kept on diminishing because we just couldn't replace them. And that was one of our goals when we built this truck, is that we didn't want to outsource it because we knew we could do it cheaper internally. We built that truck back then for about $80,000 when we built it. Obviously, the chassis is almost more than what the whole truck was then. But, so, I do believe there's a need for it, and
I don't wanna see us have to write a check out
to return the funds.
to return this ACRA money. And I don't wanna wait till December to say, oh, God, we gotta do something, and, I'd like to see it done.
Well, you wanna make a motion?
Yep. I will make a motion to use the APRA money to purchase a 2024 cabin chassis and all of the fittings up to, what did I say, $165,000 to be spent up to on this truck chassis and completing to be finished, furnished with the equipment, and to spend the remaining money on the Public Works building. How do you want to word that? Public Works.
The current Public Works or the?
How should he word that, Laura?
Help me.
As far as the allocation of funds for ARPA. The remaining funds would be allocated for the repairs for the Public Works, the existing Public Works storage facility.
Oh, yeah, that would work. I mean,
Yeah.
it's infrastructure.
Is that what
Yeah, I was going to say, I just want it done.
Yeah, improvement to current infrastructure.
Truck
Yeah, Public
for
Works.
Public Works.
Public Works, yeah.
Second now.
Any discussion?
Yes. I love the idea of not having to raise tax money for this, but this was just presented tonight to me, and I'd like to just, if we could, I would ask that we table it until the next meeting, so I can have some time to digest it and do a little bit more research. And I think maybe in the same time, we could even reach out to whichever facility is holding that truck and just let them know that we have an interest in it, and see if they can earmark it for us. I personally just don't see the urgency to make a decision tonight on this.
Do you guys want to push it 2 weeks?
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay,
Uh,
so we'll defer the motion.
Did you have more?
How?
Do you have more?
Well, do we want to take a chance on $100 and take a deposit down there and leave it on that truck for 2 weeks?
I would have no issue with that.
Yeah, I mean,
I-
$100 is nothing today.
I would doubt they will take a deposit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The last time I've talked to them before, when I've talked to them, we did it before, they wouldn't take a deposit because there's too much movement for it, and there's not enough volume of inventory. But
I did look on the computer last night, looking for, try to match up a truck like this, and there might be one more in the state, but,
Mhm. And that's all, I mean, if you all
Yeah.
wanna vote on it, that's fine, and if, I'm just asking we table it for 2 weeks and just give me time to digest
Yeah.
it a little bit more and do a little
Yeah.
more
You
research.
good with that? John, you
Yeah.
good with that?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so why don't we defer we won't vote on the motion, we'll defer it to
The 20,
2 weeks,
2 weeks.
okay? Anything else?
Yes, you asked me if I had anything. Public hearing next Tuesday night at 6:30 on the charter changes. I'm gonna try to get at least 10 businesses, some of the changes printed and get them to the businesses within the next couple days. So if anybody out there wants a copy, there will be copies here at the town office, but at most of your local businesses, the local stores, I will try my best to get 6 or 8 copies to each store, so.
Okay. The only other thing that I have under old business, I quickly went through the revenue and expenditure report, which effective August 1st, right, is, we've got all of the
All the expenses.
all the
have been-
expense, right? So, and I made everybody a copy of this, but, so we over-collected, in just general government, about $275,000, right? You know, there was some overs and unders, right, but minor, if anything. And then I just quickly went down the list of what we underspent and some of that revenue. So you can take that and whatnot, but, I mean, we over-collected at motor vehicle excise tax by $111,000. So I think we're, certainly we'll have to go through the audit, but I'm assuming that, I would assume that we can easily use the $600,000.
I talked to Ron, and he said we could do this, we're in a very similar position, he's not uncomfortable with that. And she's running the numbers based on 650 and 700,000 right now, unless you
Yep.
guys have objections.
We can use up to 8, right?
Up to 8.
That was.
Up to 8
that was
from
the
for that,
question.
and 150 from E EMS.
Right, right. So if, you just take this and, you know, if you have any questions, talk to Laura or myself or whatever the case may be, but I think we're financially,
Good
we
job.
over-collected and we underspent, okay? Now, that being said, in this year's planning, we should be, try to tighten that up, right?
Bring those numbers closer.
Right, so,
Which is what, we do try to do, but sometimes you
Right.
just,
well, you
looking back at
never know,
history and
right?
then,
So-
Well,
you don't know.
I think the hardest part we're seeing with this is the variable is the carry forwards. Because, and this, he doesn't obviously have the CIP ones, but, you know, municipal building is a huge carry forward one. That
Right.
133 is a carry forward count. You know, so that's, well, there's not all carry forward, but there's a big piece of it that's in
Right.
carry forward. For the emergency repair account, all the facilities or maintenance and buildings, that's all
And
part
and
of it.
down to the bottom, I did put, Public Works expenditures, they're gonna carry that over, so that's $326,000 or whatever, but I'm assuming that will be paid.
Once we see, and we're working right now through the whole FEMA exercise of getting that money submitted to the declaration for the early April storm, and we're right about $150,000 that will be claimed, and it's 80%, correct? Or 90?
I thought that was, is that one?
Yeah, it's 80 or 90, it's in that ballpark. So we'll
Sometimes
go
they're
back.
75, 25,
But by the
or
time we see it, it will, I would
it will
almost.
be like the next fiscal
It'll be
year.
next fiscal year's, you know.
That's
is when we'll see
usually
that
how it
come
works.
through. And hopefully at that point, we can replenish. We still can't, you know, guarantee it, but we'll replenish the 75,000, we transfer it out of the sand and salt,
Right.
and the remaining balance went to CIP back then. There is a bunch of paving projects that's gonna be starting within the next couple of weeks, just so you guys are aware, so. One last thing I have for you, don't forget, I will not be here next week.
Really?
Yeah.
Tonight.
Fair.
We're going to some fair, I don't know where.
Yeah, you can,
Is it?
yeah,
Then I'm going to the fair.
okay.
I think Melissa just heard that,
All right.
thank you.
Item 11,
Poor
discuss
Melissa.
vote to
That's
accept the
right.
minutes of the July 16th meeting.
So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor? One abstention.
Yeah.
What you get for not coming?
You can't vote. Pending decisions, I think we're all set there. Week's action list, discussion of agenda items, we're gonna bring back, Shirley, we're gonna bring back the opera vote and the tax commitment. This items needing signature, we need to sign the application for rustic taps for the York County Blues Festival and the thank you letters for Old Home Days. All that being said,
I'll
I
make a
entertain a motion to adjourn.
6:30,
I'll second that.
6:33.
All those in favor? Good night, Irene.